thank you for joining me. Today I thought we'd talk about marriage or relationships and how we can see them very quickly with Jaimini Astrology. I would always say check with Prashara as well, but Jaimini is quite fun, really quick, and I get a lot of comments usually about marriages and things, and I'm not always able to answer your comments. I do apologize. If any of you are able to help me out with that, and answer those comments, please feel free to do so. You can only just do what you can do. You can't end with your time. Let's share, rather than looking at me, let's have a look at some. It's always, I think it's quite helpful if we just look at, whilst I'm explaining a few things, we can just have a look at, okay. So basically, I've done videos about how to find padas. Padas are very important because what they are, the root of each house. So, for example, for Demi Moore, she's Aquarius ascendant ruled by Saturn. Saturn has gone in the 12th house from the ascendant. So, to find the pada for her first house, we will have to we'll have to travel 12 houses from Saturn to find the root or the pada for the first house. So, here we are, a Capricorn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So Sagittarius for her becomes like the pada for the first house. You continue doing that. There are just a couple of exceptions to that rule, which is when any planet, when you are counting, then if the placement of the Lord of that goes first to 7 houses from itself, then you automatically take that to the 10th house. 4th and 10th house, if they fall into that, and the pada, instead of being in that house, will go into the 4th house. So I hope that makes sense. There is a video that I've done about this, so you can have a look at that. And I do, I do recommend that just having a little refresher if you're feeling confused about it. It just saves time with this. Obviously, the other thing I just wanted to point out as well, the Uridu Lagna, or first pada, is how people see you. This is like your public image, if you like. So for Demi Moore, although she's an Aquarius ascendant, she actually becomes Sagittarius to other people. That's how they see her. So you can read the chart from the first pada or the Uridu Lagna, as well as your what would be like your soul planet, which for her Atmakarka is Venus. So you can read her chart from her Venus is in her chart, which is there. So a few things about Upapada. Upapada, obviously very important because this house of intimacy is the 12th house's pada, so it's very important for marriage, and it's in terms of intimacy and everything. So Upapada, when it actually falls, and actually you can see for her, it falls in Libra, which is very much a house of union anyway, but it's also her 6th pada, so she will have some litigations and some obstacles to do with marriage, which we know she has. She's been married 3 times. So she's also Venus Atmakarka, so she's going to learn about life through Venusian things and relationships. There's nothing wrong with that. We're all here to learn things. So when Upapada falls in malefic signs are signs that are ruled by Saturn and Mars, not the Sun. Sun is not considered to be malefic in Jaimini Astrology. It's just a separator because it's a soldier and it doesn't include other people as such. It's what you want to do. And so therefore Sun is not really considered malefic, neither is Leo. So if your Upapada, your 12th pada was in Leo, it doesn't make it bad in any way, shape or form. But if your Upapada falls into Capricorn, Aquarius, Aries or Scorpio, what it means, there will be challenges to the marriage. It'll be difficult to maybe find a relationship, or if you're in a relationship, it could end up having issues, or with some people will be like divorce or arguments and discord, or it could be that you have multiple marriages. And they also mild malefic is when moon is waning. So that just when moon is waning in the chart, it makes Cancer a malefic, mildly malefic house. It's not as bad as the others. And also, if Mercury is associated with malefics, it also makes not Gemini, but it makes Virgo a malefic house as well. So this is what you want to know. So you know that if your Upapada is, say, in Virgo, and if you have Mercury in association with, obviously it travels with the sun as well, but if you have Mercury sitting with Saturn or Mars or Rahu or Ketu, then you know that there are going to be issues regarding your marriage. But it's not half as bad as, to be honest, because Mercury is, and so is Moon. On the whole, they are quite, so there will be obstacles, but they're not as bad as the other houses, Capricorn or Capricorn, Aquarius, Aries, and Scorpio. They're much more malefic in nature. So just wanted you to bear that in mind. Malefic planets generally sitting in your Upapada. So Rahu, Ketu, Mars, and Saturn, if they're sitting in your Upapada, there are going to be issues regarding those again, which issues can be getting into relationships will be difficult, or when you're in a relationship, you could end up having issues, or you could have a divorce, or multiple marriages. It doesn't necessarily deny, very few things deny that. And I think in this day and age, mostly when people are not married and they're having issues getting into relationships, it could just be a choice that they're making on not sort of on a conscious level, on subconscious level. So you want to just bear that in mind. So also, obviously, if Mercury and Moon are also have become due to what we spoke earlier, if they become malefic and they're sitting in your Upapada as well, that could also give issues as well, but not as bad as the actual proper malefics. So you have to have a look at that. So, you can look at these in D1, obviously, most important chart to look at this, and D7 and D9. I know some astrologers use D60 as well. I don't really often use D60 because it's so time sensitive. So if you get it wrong, it's you don't want to do a reading on that. Really, that's not going to be so good. So you have to be absolutely 100% sure about the D60. So if there's a strong benefic in the Upapada, that's great. So it does actually help the marriage. But if there is a benefic sitting there and receives malefic aspect, always remember what is in the sign. Upapada sign is much more important than the aspect. And the aspects that we're using here are rashi aspects. So you want to also have a look at the I've done a video about that. So basically, all the fixed signs are aspected by movable signs, except the one next to them. All the fixed signs are aspected by movable signs, all three of them except the one next to them, but dual signs aspect each other. So very quickly running through this. So from her ascendant, Jupiter is aspecting Cancer, aspecting Aries, and also aspecting Libra. And they are doing the same back. And then from here, Aries is aspecting Aquarius, all the fixed signs apart from the one next to it. So Scorpio, and also aspecting Leo. Mars will be Mars and Rahu will be aspecting Scorpio, Aquarius, and Taurus. This is sign aspects. From Capricorn, Saturn is aspecting Leo, Scorpio, and Taurus. From Libra, these planets are all aspecting Taurus, or the sign is aspecting Leo, and also Jupiter in Aquarius. So that's how it goes, really. So anyway, so if if your Upapada happens to be like in Capricorn, Aquarius, Aries, or Scorpio, yeah, you know that there are difficulties, as we mentioned before. But if they are in benefic signs, like for example in Taurus, Libra, Gemini. Virgo is a funny one with Jaimini. So we're going to leave that out. Pisces and Sagittarius are also good. And also Cancer becomes good as well if it's got like, if you have a, like she's got a waxing moon, it's very strong. So benefics in Upapada, obviously they're going to be very good, even if they have malefic aspects. So you remember, you always regard what's in the actual Upapada rather than the aspect. The aspect becomes secondary. Debilitated planets aspect in it obviously are not going to be good. But then again, if you have like a benefic sitting in the sign, it's absolutely fine. Exalted malefics in Upapada is good. But you have to realize that it's even better if it's got like a benefic aspect to it. But generally speaking, exalted malefics in Upapada is good, or even if it's aspecting, it just gives you multiple relationships, that's all. Gemini, generally speaking, as an Upapada gives, and if there's no bad aspects to it or no sort of malefics in it, gives a very influential, wealthy partner. And so I think that's about everything. You can also check this, as I said, in the other charts as well. And I just wanted to say, even a malefic exalted planet helps. So you don't ever want to like not take that. So, okay, so let's have a look at her chart. So with her chart, I don't even really necessarily need to have a look at her Navamsha or anything. The reason being is because by just looking at her D1, I can see, because her Upapada is Libra. She's got the Lord of that sitting there, and it's already sitting with a Benefic. And more than anything, Jupiter's aspect in it. One glance of Jupiter actually cancels any evil anyway. So she is blessed with marriages. Definitely. So because there are influences of 3 benefics on her 12th pada, it goes without saying. And even though you can see, like, for example, she's got like, you know, it's normally said that like if you have there's like the ascendant here for her. So her Upapada Lord is Venus. Venus is sitting in Gemini, which you already know that is going to give her like what do you call, a wealthy husband. Also, look at that. That Jupiter is so strong, and it's aspecting Venus, aspecting that Mercury. So even though Mercury is debilitated, it's still getting an aspect of that. Just want to have a quick look at, sorry about that noise. Let's have a look at her D7 as well. In her D7, there we are. So you can see Mars is aspecting her 12th pada, and as Mercury. Mercury, there we are, Mercury helping her, having that. And the Lord of that, 12th pada Lord, Venus, is sitting with Jupiter. So you can definitely tell with her that there's going to be no issues getting married. So this is a very, very quick look at Upapada. I hope it's good. You know, I know it's very brief, but you know, but you can actually have a look at some people's charts, and you'll notice that actually sometimes it's amazing how there are malefic aspects, but I have very, very malefic aspect to my 12th house. And the Lord of my 12th house is 12th pada, and it's gone in a sort of Dushtana house as well. But because I have in D9, in my D1, if you look at just D1 alone, you can just say that this person is never going to get married. It's not, my D1 and D7 are not very good. But with my D9, I have two benefics sitting there. So, you know, so, and I mean, I remember looking at all of these things and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, you know, I've got such a terrible chart. But you'll be surprised how even like a malefic planet, if some good dignity, it can help. So don't lose heart and go on there and enjoy your life. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye bye.